well, if you have the just 19.4.9 from the outside of the Unity herb, it's fine. You can directly, I think then you're going to have the shortcuts over here, something like that. Then you can just directly open it. Either we can just start with open this one, and then maybe if you just install the Unity from the latest version, so like and add, well, this is the typical one, the 4.16. This is also fine for our workshop, but just like what we both have was 4.9, so that's why we specifically mentioned about the 4.9. And as you can see here, there's other list about the 2020 or 2080. So like as far as I mentioned at the beginning of this tutorial, Unity is quite like sensitive about the older versions. So in some, like even though like it's like a 2.1.3, later I'm going to explain about the package. Well, it's going to be since something is not working, it's because of the version, something like that. I mean, we also need to like investigate a lot to find the correct version as well. So for now, maybe it's better to stick with especially the packages are really sensitive. Unity itself is fine with your 4.9, 4.10, 4.11. It should be fine. Well, so let's start with I have the 4.9 for now, and then you might don't have these icons over here. So for that, you need to add modules. And yeah, as far as I believe that you already downloaded the Visual Studio as well. And then please add the module and the Android. If you're going to download the Android, please make sure if everything is enabled, and if Mac user, please tick the iOS build support this one, and excuse me. You also need enable the universal window platform build support as well, and then documentations. So these are what you need, and just after that, if you click done, and it's going to import all the files. I'm not going to do the iOS because this is a window anyway. So yeah, that's it. I hope everyone's ready, but yeah, it's fine. It takes anyway it's a bit of time to open the new files as well. So let's open the new project, but please don't directly click the new. Then like it will going to open something, the other version. So, but for here, we're going to use the 2019 version. So click this one. And there's a like bunch of templates over here. There is a 2D, 3D, and there's some render pipeline, and as well as these templates, which is already made for the beginners as well. So we're going to use a 3D because this is the most basic basic template of the Unity. But we're not going to cover in this workshop. But later, if you want to have some better render, you can have a try with the high definition, either the universal render pipeline. Well, I believe that the universal render pipeline is most common. And these are some very basic games which is already created from the Unity. So maybe if you have a time later, you can have a try these kind of things as well. But yeah, for now, we're going to stick with the just 3D template. And let's get the location. Oops. I'll say, oops. But yeah, I just need to warn you that it's better not to start with the number. You should start with the alphabet. So sometimes there is going to be error because you started the project name from the number. So I recommend you to start with the English alphabet at the beginning, first letter. And yeah, let's create the new project. And every year has a different start loading screen. So it's actually easy to know if I made a mistake to open the other version. Like 2020 has a bit more like, as far as remember, something more space-ish start version. And just before we going into the Unity, let's make sure Visual Studio. If you downloaded the Visual Studio, you should have this Visual Studio installer. Wait, yeah, Visual Studio installer. And here, inside of the modify, make sure that you have your your Visual Studio is ticked with the .NET desktop development and the desktop development with the C++ and Universal Window Platform development and the lastly game development Unity. Please make sure these things is ticked, and if not, please install them. This is how Unity looks like. Well, I mean, you might have a different view from mine because I adjusted the screen a bit. So, I mean, these are, I mean, I believe that your game is here and then your console is here, maybe something like this. So, but this Unity is quite convenient to play with the layout. So please find your best location. I mean, you will find it like when you start working on. But just for me, I just wanted to see the consoles and project a bit separately, and as well as game and scene view. I'm going to tell you which scene is which scene. So here is hierarchy is more about so this is handling about the older kind of layer or older object. We will see the older object like what we're going to create here, and then here is the like your working scene. So you can work in here, and then it's just drag and drop with the drag with your wheel button and the right button. You can just pan around, look around. And here's inspector is going to about to show all the details of the everything actually. So like if you click the directional light, you can see all the details of the inspector and main camera as well. And here is controlling your files. We're going to create all the script or the textures. This is this is exactly same as the window what you're going to have in here. So you're going to handle all the files in here in this project panel, and console is going to show you all the errors, or we also can test some the text as well. And then this game view is like when you play the game, when you play the game, here is the view from the main camera. So if you change the camera view of the main camera, this one is going to be changed as well. Well, for here, well, I don't see anything from my screen, but you might see, where are they? Yeah, you might see these icons, right? The camera icon and the light icons. And I just simply turned on and off the gizmo. And the inside of the gizmo, this is handling about the icon, which is not seen in the game view, but you can see inside of the working scene. And you can change the size as well, like that. And all the details where you want to handle it, but yeah. Actually, I don't touch it as well. And later, well, I'm going to explain you, but however, for now, like you can simply turn into the two-dimensional view within click this. And here is your axis, Z, X, Z, and Y. Well, if you're familiar with the old Rhino, you found that the axis itself is different from the Rhino, right? So usually the vertical axis in architectural world, virtual axis is called Z, but the inside of the Unity as well as Maya, like all these kind of the game-based software, they have the vertical axis as a Y. So please remind this one. And here, yeah, this is the light, handling the light as well. And you can, yeah, have a look with this one. And then, let's see. So that's it. And yeah, I hope that you can have your best layout so far. And let's have a look around the Unity. So here is simply we call them as a game object here. And the main camera itself is also part of the game object. And the directional light is a game object. And if you click the right click, this I just right click, you can see a lot of like different objects from this panel. So what we can start is maybe we can create the cube. And yeah, you simply see the cube over here. And when you see the cube, when you click the cube, you will see the position of the cube and the rotation of the cube and scale and the other things as well. And as a position, well, it is a position like the X, Y, Z, and rotations. Yeah, rotations and the scale as well. And if you messed up with the older the position, location, scale, you can simply right click the transform and reset, and it's going to bring you to the origin 0, 0, 0, and all the rotation scale is going to be the set up to default as well. And if now I think you can see more easily about the change of the main camera. You can see here. And if you feel like, I mean, sometimes it's very difficult to find the correct location. Here is the about the functions. So if you have a experience with Maya, this is exactly the same. First one is move around about the object, and second one is making rotate, exactly same as handling with this. And this is a scale. And well, this is more, the rectangular tool is actually used in the two-dimensional, but however, you can do something like this as well. And this is kind of universal, which is like including everything. But yeah, let's stick with this one for now. And then maybe you figure that out, like our object is very like, okay, the beige color, right? We don't want that maybe. So actually it's because of the lighting. So we can handle the lighting as well. But like for here, just turn off the global illumination, and you can turn on the real-time global illumination. And after that, if you click the auto generation, yes, here is the our original color of the cube. So it provides a bit better view, right? And if you don't like the view of the camera, what you also can do is like find the best position in your game view. This is way more easier to handle. Well, there is another function with the change the camera itself inside of game view. But like before we go into there, like just try to find the best position in your the working view, and then select main camera. Then press Control Shift F, and then your view is going to be same. Actually, Control Shift F is not only about the camera. You also can do with the cube. So it's aligned with the view. So if you go to here, where was it? I don't see. I don't use this actually that much. So there you go. Yeah, align with the view is a Control Shift F. So this is not only about the cube, the camera. You also can use with the cube. Then it's aligned with the view, but just it's more easier to use. I mean, more common to use. Change the location of the camera. So let's try to understand each inspector, because this is really important to when you do the scripting as well. So, well, we already play with the transform, right? So let's try to make this cube from scratch. So here you can see here there's create empty, right? So let's try to create empty and the transform reset. And now you can see there is a, you can see the this gimbal, but actually there is nothing because it's empty object. So what we can add is here. Here is a, so you can add a lots of component to make all the other game objects. So when you see the cube again, there is mesh renderer, like mesh filter, mesh renderer, and the box collider, something like that. So here we can start to add with mesh filter. And here, if you click here, these two circles, you will see a lot, some different shape, like the cube or capsule cylinder. So we can start with the cube simply. But however, even though you click this one, you don't see nothing because we need some rendering. So let's add a mesh renderer. Now you see the shape of the cube, right? But however, it looks like the how this called this color, magenta color, right? So because as you can see here, there is no material. So inside of this unity, the magenta means there is no material. And here you can add the material. Simply you also can click and you can click the default or not this one, this one. This one is a three-dimensional material. So now already it looks same, right? Well, it's a bit different behind. But the just is a glance is same, right? But one thing is different is like it has a box collider and it doesn't have. Well, collider is kind of physical shape. What I'm saying is later without the collider, it's not going to do anything. I mean, I can show you quickly. So let's create the plane and maybe let's make it a bit bigger. Oops, it's too low. There you go, and it's both too height, right? So how to change the material is actually in here. Here inside of the project, you can right click and go to the create, and there's lots of things over here, and then we're going to select the material here, and let's say blue material. Oops. And here there's an albedo, and you can see the color over here. You can select any colors what you want, and I said blue, so let's do with the blue. And how you're going to add your material? There's a lot of way to do it. First, you can again go to the game object, and then the inside of the mesh renderer material. You can select the our material, which we just created, this one. Either you can just simply drag and drop to here, and maybe you just saw that. You can just drag and drop to here, the object itself. So let's make the cube to blue so we can see easily. And the inside of the object, we also can add, before we add the mesh collider, we can do the rigid body. So this rigid body controls the gravity. Here it says use gravity. And I'm going to also add the rigid body in our cube, the previous cube as well. Well, I mean, let's create one more material so not to confuse. I'm going to create red material. and to here. And inside of this cube as well, let's add the rigid body. And if I play this one, they're going to fall off. Yeah, you saw that. But this is like it stays on the plane, but the blue one is like keep falling down because it doesn't have the collider, which is like controlling about the physical shape. So if we add a mesh collider, there you go. I mean, you don't need to touch anything. And then if you play this one, oh, maybe I missed something. Mesh collider. Ah, okay. Not mesh collider, sorry. Mesh collider is usually for the using the mesh, another mesh. So here is like what you need is, because if you type the collider, there's lots of different collider over here. Since our shape is the cube, which is box, we're going to use the box collider. And if we play this one, yeah, now you can see the both of them, the like under the plane. So that's why we need the collider. Well, sometimes you don't need it because, you know, I mean, the inside of the game or inside of AR, like it's better not to have the collider physical shape, because if you want to pass through something like that. So it depends on your situation. You can choose what you want to choose. Well, and then if you choose the different mesh shape, like it's going to change the shape as well. You can play with this as well. So let's delete all of this. We can start with the simple C#. Before we move on to the C#, let's create a folder to organize this project view, project panel. So here you can create a folder. So usually the people who is using the Unity, they always create the folders for each content. So here we already created 2 materials. So I'd like to add materials folder. I'm going to just move it inside of the material. And again, we're going to do the scripting. So scripts. I just create this script folder, and inside of here, let's create C# script. And before you like type enter or like something, just like do this, you need to give them name actually, because if you click this one, double click this one, if your script is not directly opening the Visual Studio, then here the edit preference, and here where was it? External tools here, external script editor. Some of you might open with the mono, forgot the name, but there is some usual the basic of the Unity C# program as well. That one is also fine, but I found that the Visual Studio is most convenient to handling the script. So please stick to here, and then if you double click the script, it will open the Visual Studio. So here you can see the name of the class. So class is the name of the script actually. So you found that this name and this name is the same. Well, but if I just change this name, like maybe just let's say SDP, and then if I save it, and there will be, I don't know why it doesn't show the error message now. Well, if I play this one, well, it doesn't find, because we didn't use this script anywhere. But however, what I wanted to say was like, if there is going to be error, because this name and this class name should be same. So like before we start, before you create the script, I'm going to just delete this one. When you create the script, please give them a name. So we'll start with my first script. Okay. Well, some of you might not the first as a to the script, but and let's double click this one. Okay. Now you see this name and this name is the same, and then you see the system collection, system using the Unity engine, and these kind of start and void the update, these kind of things. This is like the what kind of namespace they're going to use is you can understand as a kind of library. It's a bit different, but you can understand like that. And then like the class is the handling the entire cover up of this script. And then when you see the void starts, and here's a little bit of a description about the script itself. So void start, the void is like how can I say that? When you do the scripting, it's kind of the name of the group or name of the function group. I mean, maybe I can explain something like this. So the start void is only called before only once when the first frame updated, and then the update is like a code for every frame. Like we can try it. So let's try this one to understand that. What we can do is debug.log. Sorry, debug.log. This is the typing this the text into the console. So here maybe the quotation mark, and we can say hello world. Most typical, right? Oops. Then end of the quotation mark and semicolon. This is really important in semicolon is important in scripting. Excuse me. This is like it says the semicolon is like you're saying okay, I'm going to wrap it up this sentence. It's like the point for the usual sentence when you're writing. So like without this, the system we're going to understand the sentence itself is not finished yet. So it's going to be there is going to be error. And I'm going to save it. And as you see here, there is a mono behavior. You might want to know what is this. So mono behavior is when you want, this is a default setup of the script. So mono behavior is working as a component, like so you need to attach this script to use it. Well, if there is, we will be there later. But if you delete this one, you can use it anywhere else. So what I'm saying is, in here to use this script, I saved it. If I play this now, there's nothing's going to be happen. So to use this script, we need to create empty object in hierarchy. Let's create empty, and well, sometimes it doesn't matter, but it's better to reset all the time, because sometimes it is handling the location of the object. So if you don't want to have the error or like a mistake, it's better to reset all the time. And here, game object, let's make the my first object. Actually, the name of this one and this one, oops, not my first object. My first script manager. The name itself can be different from here and here. It doesn't matter. And inside of the game, this empty object, there's another way as well. Like you can do the add component, and you can find the name of our script. Either, which I prefer actually, you can just drag and drop to here or to the name over here. Doesn't matter. It's going to do the same thing. And then now, if you play the game, you will see the hello world in our console. And it's only called one time, right? So, but if you want to bring this one, I just did the Control X, cut and paste. Or that's what I did. Not hello world, maybe hello everyone this time. So to see the difference. So if you play this one, I'm going to refresh. Well, I mean, usually you don't need to do the refresh usually. So after you save the Visual Studio, when you go back to Unity, it's going to automatically compile your C#. So usually it's fine, but I don't know why today is a bit weird. So if you play this one, now it's keep printing the hello everyone, like every single frame, like forever until we stop. And that's the main difference. So now it's kind of easy to figure out. And here, what we can do as well is rather than just doing the printing every time, we also can give some if condition. Like so, if, for example, if means like we give the certain condition. So do this only at a certain like situation. So here, what we're going to do is we're going to just type the input. So this is the well, when you press the dot, there is like a lot of functions over here. What we're going to what you're going to do here is get key down, and open the blanket and type the key code. Again, dot, and it's going to show a lot of keys. And of course, you can type the A. I mean, whichever you want. For now, I'm going to just type the space. So space bar. We're going to create this one. To use this one, under the if, you need the curly blanket open and close. Make sure that when you open the blanket, make sure that you need to close it all the time. And I'm going to just cut and paste to here and save this one and refresh. I just clear the console. And if I play this one, it's not going to show anything, right? But we said that there's only the spaces key down. We're going to print the hello everyone. So I go back to here, game view. And if I press the space, it's going to print the hello everyone. Like every time when I click the space. Yep, this is the basic of the understanding about the start, update, and the if condition. So what we're going to do is let's try to build some simple bricks, right? So brick wall or brick ground, whatever you want. So I'm not going to use this script more. So you can delete it or you can just turn it off, doesn't matter. I just turned off. And let's create empty object. List set. I just want to change you can change the name here as well, or in here I just pressed F2, and what we're going to do is brick builder, and let's create the script. Brick builder. And let's attach this script to brick builder. So make sure brick builder object has the brick builder. And let's open the brick builder. So what we're going to here is like we're going to create the object through the script. So what we need to do is first we need to declare which object we're going to create. So public game object, let's say brick, and semicolon, don't forget it, and save it. And before we do anything, when you go back to your brick builder, refresh. When you go to the brick builder, you will see this, right? The brick and the non-game object. So we're going to use this, and then we're going to do something inside of our the script. So what we want to do is we want to create, let's create just cube. Cube is always like just simple things. And just what you need to do is just drag and drop this cube to here. And which means it's going to use this this cube to do something inside of here. So when you create something, I mean, when you understand about the object which is in the world, what you need to do is the position of the object and the angle of the object, right? So to get that, we need a vector 3. Vector 3 is handling about the position, so we're going to call it the brick position. Is because we just create a new vector, so we're just going to create a new vector which is like maybe let's say 3, 0, 0. In this location we want to create the brick, and what we need is the location inside of the Unity. Well, I mean, I also don't know why, but yeah, you need they call the quaternion. So this is the handling about the angle of the unit the object. So brick rotation equal to quaternion dot identity, which means we're not going to rotate anything. It's going to use just its own angle. Then what we need to do is instantiate this one. Instantiate. This is going to instantiate. It's going to generate. It's going to spawn the object. So here, when you open the blanket, it's going to show the some information what you need to type. So first of all, you need to type the object. So what you're going to instantiate is going to be brick, right? Brick, and comma. They need the location, so we need the brick position, comma, and we need the rotation, so brick rotation, and semicolon. Let's save this one, and I'm going to refresh. If you play this one, yeah, there's one, the other cube is just generated, position of 3, 0, 0, right? But like well, do I need to have this one all the time? Not actually. Well, so inside of Unity, there is a concept of prefab. So prefab is we're going to save the, like, it's kind of like block in Rhino. So you can save the block, you can save the prefab in our project folder, and then you can use it every time when you want. So we're going to create a folder first, actually, prefabs. How to make a prefab? I mean, it's exactly the same as block in Rhino. So, well, you can give some like material maybe, and you can change the name of that. And you might want to change the I don't know, size, something like this. Looks like more brick. And all you need to do is just drag and drop your object, game object, to your prefab folder. Well, doesn't matter about the prefab folder itself, but the project panel. And then once you drag and drop, the icon is changed to blue, which means it changed to prefab. So now you don't need this one. And then go to the brick builder. It says missing because we just deleted the object inside of the scene. All you need to do is just drag and drop this prefab to your brick builder here, game object. And then after that, once you play it, it's going to instantiate your brick to the position of 3, 0, 0, and then it still contains all the inspector, all the properties of the prefab, the scale, the position, not position, scale, the color, and those kind of things, right? And yeah, before we move on, maybe you want to know about the location, right? So you also can handle the like a position. You also can handle the rotation of the units. So what we can do is like rather than just instantiating using the instantiate, we're going to say this is new object, which is game object. Oops, game object. Game object. New object equal to instantiate. I mean, it's going to have a same result exactly. Maybe, yeah. And using the new object dot transform, because so new object is going to this one. This is going to be new object, and inside of the new object, we're going to use the transform. This one transform component, and inside of transform component, we're going to use rotate, and the angle of 0, 30, maybe, yeah, 0, something like that. And then let's save this one. Refresh. All right. And if you the plate is going to have a like 30 degrees is rotated. And yeah, not only using the rotate things, we also can do the use the quaternion as well. And I'm going to comment out. So I think some of you already know and or noticed these two slash means comment out, which means the system will not going to read this sentence anymore. So I just put the two slash, not to use this one. Here, rather than the quaternion identity, what we can do is, what we can use is euro. And we can say that 0, 30, 0. So we gave the angle to so idea different idea different thing is like this one is we're going to give the angle itself to the new object, and this one is after we instantiate object, it's going to give the angle. That's the difference. But anyway, like for here, the result itself is going to be same because we don't have anything in between these two lines, right? So I'm going to refresh. And see, it's exactly the same result. Yeah. And then maybe when you play the Unity, you might doesn't have a change of color things. Well, I just added color because I wanted to like obviously know when I play it or when I'm not playing it. So you can change that the settings in the preference as well. So in the colors, what I changed is the general play mode tint. So if I change to like greenish, if I play it, yeah, it changed to green. Well, green is not bad as well, right? So I'm going to keep this one. Cool. What we're going to do is for loop. So for loop, what I'm going to use is double tap, and it's going to automatically create the for loop. And what it's going to do here is like it's going to start is going to say with the I is integer means a decimal number. So it's like just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that. There is a float as well. Float is like 1.0, 1.2, something like that. So we're going to start from the 0, and then I should be length. Let's say 10 this time. And the I++. I++ means I is going to increase by 1 at each frame, each loop. So this means I is going to start from the 0 and then it's going to increase until it reaches 10. So let's just copy and cut and paste inside of the for loop, this one. And what we need to do is like, let's use this I as a position. And here, save it. Wait, I'm not going to give the angle. Well, quaternion identity, quaternion Euler 000, exactly same. And wait, I want to use a different brick. Maybe not this one, or no, just going to change size. I just changed the size 1, 1, 1. Just make sure it's the same. And so now you can see it created 10 bricks. Well, I mean, because there's no gap in between, so it looks like just one bar, but yeah, there is a 10 cubes over here. If you don't like the gap like this, maybe you can do something like this. F means a float, so you should put the F every time when you type the float number. I'm going to save it. And if you click it, yeah. Now it's obviously that you see you have the 10 cubes over here, right? And yeah, you also can do the other way as well. So I'm going to add one more for loop. Oops. And here, this one again 10. But the because we are using the I 2 times, so let's say J. Usually for loop start from the I and J and K. So, and here we can use J to Z, J, and well, multiply 1.1 F as well. Cool. And let's save it and refresh. And now it's going to create the like 10.10 grams over here. Yep, it's like this. And then to just organize our hierarchy, because it's like it created outside of can say that in the hierarchy, so it's kind of messed up. What we can do is like when you're instantiating, we can add one more, which is parents. I'm going to tell you about the parents. So let's say this transform, which means the object, this one, the brick builder itself, because we attach this script inside of the brick builder. So the parents means like the inside of a layer is like the upper layer is called parents, and then the under the upper layer we're going to is going to generate the children. So if I play this one, now when you see the hierarchy, everything is generated under the brick builder. So in this case, brick builder is a parent and bricks are children. You also can change the name of the object as well after you generate it. So here, you can use the new object dot name equal to, we can say that brick plus I we can do something like that. So the name of the object, we're going to have a different name according to their coordinate. So when I play this one, now refresh. Yeah, now you see the all the names are different and according to its location as well. All right, and this is we're going to do the late test idea after this. So which is it's going to like when you think about the AR application, when you place the location, it's going to generate the object, the location where you clicked, right? So you can do it inside of the PC as well. Let's do it. Just a second. So what you need to do is like, of course, first of all, we need a new script here. Let's create a new script, and we can call it late testing. Or should I just because it's a bit like delayed, so I'm just thinking about jump this one, or yeah, I just introduce you this very quickly. So let's turn off the brick builder and let's just create the plane. So oops, plane size of like, I don't know, maybe just 20 is fine. And let's create the new object, new empty object. I'm going to tell you why. And here there's let's create another cube, and let's put under the game object, and let's say this one is test a cast object. And let's make it to, I'll just keep the just blue. Set the solution. Yep. So I mean, the reason why is doing this one is we're going to get the position of we click it. So we might don't want to have see our cube something like this. So what we want to do is just maybe you want to see like this, right? So that's why I just create this one, and I just make this as a prefab. And let's create the new empty object again to do the late cast. And we can just put on, I mean, it doesn't matter, but it just want to make it clean in our hierarchy. So late casting. And let's create the, well, we already created the script. And we're going to attach this one to our late cast. So we can do the late casting. It's pretty much simple. So first of all, again, what we need to do is we need to use some certain object. So, oops. So when you type the public, it's going to show the public. When you type the when you say the public, it's going to show the inside of the inspector. And there is sometimes we need to use the private. So in that case, it's not going to show outside of the inspector. So let's create another game object, which is Wavelength this time. And let's create the private game object. And well, because so we're going to just create the new object here. It's exactly the same as before. And since we're not going to use the void start, and let's delete this one. And here, what we need to do is this is like a default the script for the array casting. So well, I mean, just maybe it's better to just memorize it. I mean, I can explain the apply type. Yeah, maybe. So the laycast is going to use the array, and the array is going to understand as the location inside of our camera, and it's going to find the location of the mouse position. And in here, this laycast heat is going to be a heat position. It's going to find the location of the heat. So sorry, I'm just to and well, like just for your information, everything what we're doing in here is I'm already saved the all the things what we're going to do today inside of the Day1 and the SDB packages. And there is a yes, everything's what we're going to cover up today. So we need to hurry, right? And the first and second one is here, and the third one is what we're doing right now is raycast is here. So how to use this Unity package is actually is rather than just type this, let's type jump to that. It's fine. So here in asset export package there is no sorry import package over here, and then custom package, and then click the package where you're going to import. So for now, let's do the raycast, and the import everything is fine. And there's a bit of this should be because of some script, I guess. This one. Oops. Maybe. And when you import it, there is another scene. I saved it to another scene actually. So inside of the basic script scene, there is a raycast over here. So, oops. Okay, script itself missing. All right. I mean, let's quickly type this one. It's fine. Or wait, I think I can just import again. I just wanted to show the how the package is working, and raycast is online. All right, I mean, I understand why. Okay, well, I mean, it's fine. I will just delete this too. And here, when you see the raycast build, so inside of script and basic, and there is a raycast build, which is already write the script about the raycast. So till here, we just covered up, right? And here, every time when I click the mouse button, in the get mouse button 0 means a left click. And then if you type the 1, it means a right click. If you type 2, it's a wheel click. So for now, let's do the 0. And then it's going to get the position of the raycast. So I'm going to comment out this one. Let's do this one first because it's clear. So every time when I click some position, it's going to get the new vector, which is position of I heat. And then it's going to show the print the location of the vector itself. And it's going to instantiate new object at the position of where I click. So I save this one. And I go to the raycast. And here's a raycast prefab, exactly what we just created, or raycast obj. I mean, it's actually same, so it doesn't matter. So when I play this one, and every time when I click the on side of the plan, you're going to have all the bricks where you want. And we're going to bring this concept to AR later. So that's why I wanted to show this one quickly. And every time when you click it, it's going to get the position of the location. And this is usually for like when you do the kind of like Minecraft things. So when you get when you want to the position of the inside of the grid, you use this one. MathF is just calculating simple math inside of the Unity. So round to int means like remember that our position is float numbers. So here we're going to change all the locations to round numbers, all the numbers to round numbers. So within this, every time when I click it, it create the only the integer numbers, and it's going to create the kind of Minecraft-ish things shape, right? Of course, the Minecraft itself is a very different idea from this one. But however, what I wanted to show was like you can create like something like inside of grid as well.